it didn't seem like anybody else wanted, right? And they came in and played the way they did. So there's so many stories on this team, so many individual stories.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
I mean, y'all already know what time it is. It's time to listen to John Harbaugh explain what the hell happened in the AFC Championship game. Let's jump into it.
At this point, but for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and to not harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Wait for the Lord and be strong. And that's for me. What questions do you have?
John, after a loss like this, what was kind of your message to the players?
I was proud of them. I'm proud of the season that they had. I feel like it was a team that had a lot of challenges. I don't think it was a team that was too highly touted coming into the season by the pundits and the prognosticators and all that. And I think they proved a lot of people wrong all year. Quarterback made a statement all year. So many players that had so much to prove. I think of a guy like John Simpson, just off the top of my head, who had so much to prove and come in and play the way he did. Jadeveon Clowney, Kyle Van Noy, just two guys that came in late, that didn't seem like anybody else wanted, right? And they came in and played the way they did. So there's so many stories on this team, so many individual stories. The message is to eyes straight ahead, your chin up, your chest out, and understand what you did accomplish. And I'm proud of them.
Hey, shout out to them. Obviously, my wife is a diehard Ravens fan. I was pushing for the Ravens, but he's right, man. The Chiefs just showed up, showed out, and really just imposed their will. Great game overall by the Ravens. I just felt like they went away from what made them who they are, which is the run game. And then obviously Lamar everything was put on his shoulders and kind of set him up for failure. Obviously some guys were able to rise and surpass that. We got the Patrick Mahomes, the Tom Brady's, but there's basically two of those guys in existence, and their lives are taken. So he just needs to be the best Lamar moving forwards. I'm hoping that they're going to continue to put stuff around him. This was obviously the year to really push for that Super Bowl, but this obviously means that the Super Bowl is right there. It's within reach. Lamar is the guy. I do believe Lamar is arguably the second best quarterback in the league, two-time MVP, multiple AFC champ. Well, now this is the first AFC championship game. I'm sorry. So just two MVPs, but I mean, I can't really give that to Josh Allen or anything like that. Obviously, postseason success means something, but now Lamar has had some of that postseason success, so I can't use that as a detractor against him now. I do agree that Jadeveon Clowney, Kyle Van Noy, and of course rookie Kyle Hamilton were just absolutely amazing. Van Noy and Clowney are probably going to be lost in the offseason, which will be incredibly upsetting. But if they do want to run it back, I think it could be really interesting. Again, as long as Lamar can stay healthy, they are Super Bowl ready. Just can they get over that hump?
What's your immediate thought as to why the offense wasn't able to kind of put its best foot forward?
We just weren't able to, we had a couple opportunities to score down there. We didn't get the touchdowns. I mean, it was really a defensive struggle if you step back and look at the whole game. And they were able to score the points, and we weren't.
How tough was it, obviously, to come back from Zay's turnover? I know there were a couple other pivotal moments there, but it seemed like a moment where the opportunity was right.
Yeah, man, that extension over the end zone with Zay, and then for him to lose it, and them to obviously lose the game the way they did, you got to feel for him. We were absolutely heartbroken for Zay when that happened, and then of course the taunting penalty and all that. It just got worse.
We were fighting like crazy to get back in, and I think, strategically we moved the ball back down the field. We were fighting to get the ball back at the end, with the clock and everything, and they hit the one pass. We were close to getting the ball back at the end to have a chance to score. So that's what we were trying to do. I mean, you're against the clock there. A lot of different strategic moves to try to get that done, and then they hit the one pass.
16 rushing attempts is definitely not what you guys normally do.
It was kind of that kind of a game, I'd say. That's the way it worked out.
I don't agree. I think they made a conscious effort to come out there and throw the ball early, trying to, get up on Patrick Mahomes. And really, the Ravens defense kind of kept it close because, in my opinion, the Ravens should have been up or should have been down basically 21-0, pretty much off rip. It was pretty bad. And then the Ravens were able to come back in the second half and make it more of a winnable game. But, yeah, their offense was overall anemic at best.
The game, kind of the way the game went.
John, how disappointing were some of the penalties where it seemed like maybe losing composure at a couple of points, cost shots?
Yeah, really don't have anything to say about those until I get a better look at them.
John, what do you say to Lamar when he's had the season he's had, and I know he's not going to like that performance today?
I told him to stand up tall. He's had a great season. His performance today was all heart. He fought. He went out there and gave it everything he had, so I don't think that's anything that I'd be disappointed in.
I mean, I would agree. Obviously, the lost fumble, that hurts. That just ridiculous interception into triple coverage. But you'd love to have those back, but unfortunately, that's not how the game was played. Chiefs were able to get the dub that day and send Baltimore home. Again, much to the pain of my wife, of course.
What was the message in the locker room afterwards? I know you told them you were proud and all that.
That was a message.
Despite what happened in the regular season, I mean, what was their reaction afterwards? I mean, did anyone stand up and say anything after you did, Coach?
No, I mean, guys were talking to one another. We said the Lord's Prayer. We said that.
John, was Marlon not able to go in the second half, and we saw?
Real quick, that is becoming a little bit more prevalent. We're starting to see it, especially with my Carolina Panthers. We're hiring a very faithful Dave Canales. We just hired Brad Idzik, very faithful guy. A lot more people are being a little bit more open about their religion, which is great. I think that you should have the ability to talk about that. And if other players want to pray with you, that's totally up to them. Just don't think it should be pushed on people. I'm not saying that in this scenario. I'm just saying in general. Haven't seen that so far from any coaches. Just like that they're finally kind of opening up a little bit more, especially to other people. I felt like before it really wasn't touched on for the most part.
Things didn't really seem out there after halftime.
Yeah, it was just the way we went. I'm not sure exactly where he was at physically, but he played as much as he could. I can tell you that, and that's how Marlon works.
Chiefs lost a fumble out of the end zone last week. Obviously, you saw that. So is reaching for the goal line something that you coach or coach?
Hell no, man. That's not what any coach coaches.
We coach two hands when you reach for the end zone. He had two hands on the ball.
Was there anything in particular about their defensive plan that you felt like was making it especially hard on your offense?
No, they did what they always do. They're very well coached. They play hard. Steve Spagnola, Spags, my good friend Spags, is a great coach. Okay, thanks.
Man, he tried to rush out of there. Shout out to the Baltimore Ravens for giving us access to this. Harbaugh just looked like a defeated man. I mean, obviously, you lose the AFC Championship game. You are one win away from a Super Bowl. And to be honest, I think if the Ravens win against the Niners again, they would mop them again. Unfortunately, that's not the way the cards fell. But it's going to be next year. You're going to come back here. The Harbaughs will be ready to go. Obviously, we might end up getting a Harbaugh AFC Championship game. I think it would be pretty cool. But overall, I just appreciate y'all coming by, rolling with us every day right here on Roll Coverage. My name is Nick. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of the day. Peace.